AnnyeongBuzz, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today's topic, oh boy, it's not an easy one, and honestly, it's not one I expected to be talking about this soon after BTS's big return. We're diving into the recent controversy surrounding BTS's Jungkook and that now viral Make Tokyo Great Again hat? Yep, you probably saw the photos already. During the rehearsal for J-Hope's encore concert in Seoul, Jungkook was spotted wearing a black cap with the phrase printed right on the front. And, well, the internet exploded. So let's unpack this together. As always, I don't just want to deliver the news. I want to talk with you guys. Let's go deep on why this blew up, what Jungkook and the hat brand said in response, and why the reactions have been so intense, both from Korean netizens and international fans. And of course, I'll be sharing my honest thoughts throughout. First off, the hat. The phrase, "Make Tokyo Great Again," is clearly modeled after Donald Trump's "Make America Great Again" slogan, which already has very strong political associations. But this one hit especially hard in Korea because of the painful history with Japan, especially regarding Japan's imperial rule. That phrase, even if unintentional, triggered people who saw it as glorifying a time of colonization and oppression. Now, here's where things get more complicated. Jungkook quickly apologized on Weverse. He said he didn't realize the meaning behind the slogan and that he had discarded the hat. That's important. He acknowledged it and took action. He didn't stay silent. And he didn't try to justify it. But the damage had kind of already been done. What made it worse? The hat brand, Basics, decided to capitalize on the moment. They posted Jungkook's photo on Instagram, celebrated the fact that the hat sold out, and kind of doubled down on the design. Yes, they apologized if anyone felt uncomfortable, and clarified that it was meant to support Tokyo fashion, not politics. But let's be real, the design was already borrowing a politically charged slogan. Even if it wasn't meant that way, it was bound to spark controversy, and that's exactly what happened. Korean netizens were furious. Some of the comments on the Coup and other forums were brutal. People called it embarrassing, harmful, and even disgusting. Others went after the fandom, saying things like, "This just shows the level of the fandom," or "Only fans would buy something this embarrassing." Ouch. That last one really stings, doesn't it? Now I want to pause here and ask you guys, what do you think? Was this a simple mistake? Was the apology enough? Do you think fans should stop buying these items that fuel controversies? Let me know in the comments, because this is one of those situations where everyone's perspective adds something important. Personally, I do believe Jungkook didn't wear the hat with any political intent. He's known for his casual street style, fashion. And like many idols, he likely picked it up without overanalyzing the text. But that doesn't excuse the fact that with global fame comes a different level of responsibility. Whether we like it or not, millions are watching his every move. And in that position, even a hat can cause international backlash. Let's also talk about how quickly the hat sold out. That's what made this worse. Not only was the incident controversial, but the fact that the hat sold out right after, and fans were posting about owning it, really fueled the outrage. It turned into a conversation not just about the hat, but about fandom behavior. That weird intersection where support turns into blind consumption, even in the middle of a scandal. Have we reached a point where anything an idol wears, no matter what it represents, gets bought up instantly? That's the question many are asking now, especially in Korea. And I think it's a valid one. The idea that fandom-driven consumerism can overpower critical thinking is really worth reflecting on. All right, we're going to go deeper in the next part, including how international fans responded, what this says about the pressure idols face in this social media era, and whether this should be a wake-up call for brands and fandoms alike. But before we jump there, seriously, I want to hear from you. Do you think the brand was wrong to post Jungkook's photo and celebrate the sales? Do you think K-pop idols should be more careful about fashion choices, even if they claim it's unintentional? Or do you think this was blown out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments and I'll be reading through them like always. So, let's continue, buzzers. We left off with the core controversy: the hat, the apology, the sellout, and the backlash from Korean netizens. But we can't ignore the reaction from international fans either, because they added a whole new layer to this. On platforms like Reddit, Twitter, and TikTok, a lot of international fans, especially from the US, were shocked that Jungkook would wear something echoing Trump's slogan. Even if the phrase was slightly changed, it still hit hard for fans who have been directly impacted by Trump's anti-immigrant policies. Especially Asian American and Korean American fans, many of whom felt like it was tone-deaf and triggering. Some were really honest, saying things like, "He may not understand the meaning fully, but that's why it matters even more to be cautious." Others pointed out that even if the brand claims no political intent, using a slogan with that much historical baggage, especially in a global fashion market, is risky and irresponsible. And you know what? I agree with that. Intent doesn't always equal impact. Jungkook probably didn't mean to make a statement. But the result? It did make a statement, whether he meant to or not. Now here's where I want to be real with you guys, because this is where things get murky. On one hand, I totally understand the people defending him. He's just human. It was a mistake. He apologized. Yes, absolutely. Everyone messes up. And he did what we often ask celebrities to do: take accountability and clarify. But on the other hand, we can't pretend that the influence of BTS isn't massive. Especially Jungkook, he's not just a singer, he's a global fashion icon, ambassador, trendsetter. When he wears something, it's not just personal, it's public. And that's where we get into the bigger conversation. What is the responsibility of an idol with that kind of reach? This is something I really want your opinion on. Should idols be expected to research everything they wear? Or is it unrealistic to expect that level of awareness for every single item? My personal take, it's somewhere in between. I don't expect idols to be political analysts. But I do think that with the scale of their influence, they need a better support system. Stylists, brand reps, management, to flag things like this before they hit the stage or the street. Jungkook shouldn't have to carry this entire weight alone, but someone in his circle should have caught it. Now let's talk about the brand's response again, because wow, that deserves a little more unpacking. Basics Japan apologized, but also posted the hat all over their Instagram and celebrated that it sold out. That's a weird move, right? It's like saying, "We're sorry" with one hand, and "thanks for the free promo" with the other. The fact that they posted photos of Jungkook in the hat and screenshots of the sold-out page, that was clearly a marketing play. This tells us something else, that brands are very aware of the power of idol fandoms, and they're willing to stir the pot to sell out merch. The second an idol wears something, it becomes gold. And in this case, even controversy couldn't stop fans from buying it. But here's the twist. Some fans bought it because it was controversial. That's what really shocked me. It wasn't just Jungkook wore this, I want it. It was, I want this before it disappears because of the drama. That's next level stan culture, and it honestly made me a little uncomfortable. And again, I'm not judging fans. I get it. Supporting your bias can feel like loyalty. But when support turns into obsession, and we start ignoring the impact of what we're consuming, we cross into dangerous territory. So buzzers, I want to leave you with a couple of questions before we wrap this up. 1. Do you think this situation should serve as a warning for other idols and agencies to vet everything more carefully? 2. Do you think the fandom needs to rethink how we support our idols, especially when they make mistakes? And 3. Do you think the backlash has gone too far? Or is it justified given the history and context? Let me know in the comments. Because this is one of those conversations where everyone's voice matters. And please, keep it respectful. Whether you're defending Jungkook, criticizing the brand, or just feeling confused, that's valid. Let's create a space where we can actually talk about tough stuff without tearing each other apart. Before we go, just a reminder, Jungkook is still the same talented, hardworking artist we've always loved. One mistake doesn't erase that. But acknowledging the impact of that mistake, that's important too. Alright, that's it for today's episode of AnnyeongBuzz. Thanks for staying with me through this very sensitive topic. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more honest takes on K-pop's biggest stories. See you in the next one. And until then, stay thoughtful, stay kind, and as always, stay buzzing.